So I normally do those presentations. Sometimes I have big audience, sometimes I have small audience. For small audience, what I do is I try to make it interactive. So I might ask you questions in the presentation. If you have any questions, you can also raise your hand if I'm not clear on things. Okay? Don't be don't be shy. Okay? It needs to be really interactive. So first, thank you very much to welcome me in Vietnam. It's not my first time in Vietnam. I've been in Vietnam for, I think, 3-4 times, but every time I was in Ho Chi Minh. So the first time in Hanoi, I love the city, really nice, and thanks to Steve, Charlie, Jeff, and Ken for helping out for this 2 days. I'm leaving back this afternoon to Bangkok, so it's been really short, but hopefully I have to come back again and again and again to know more about you guys and know more about Vietnam. So a few.
We've got IT problems.
Yes, we're having IT problems.
Okay. Use your Apple on you.
So I'm gonna just say a few words about reconnecting. Okay.
On the page. Okay. On the page now, and it should be. It's going to change it
Now
right.
you have to present, but you don't have connection. That's a problem.
The internet's coming and going.
So anyway, a few words about myself. Okay, just give you a little bit of background. So I'm French. I moved in Asia 17 years ago. More precisely in Thailand. I went to Thailand for love. Okay, I went there, and because I had no experience, my English was okay, not so good. Couldn't speak Thai. I had no choice but to create my own company. No other choice. So for 17 years, I've been building businesses. Okay, so I call myself as an entrepreneur, someone who, build things, get teams together, and I've been, quite successful at doing this. Built several businesses, sold some of them failed. Part of life, business, and for 14 years I was in Bangkok. This is my wife, and my 2 kids. So when we got those kids, I felt like it was time for us to move away from a big city. So we moved to Koh Samui, south of Thailand, a small island. I bought boats there. We're on a boat here, just to relax and enjoy life. But then, after a few years being on an island and just slowing down and enjoying sailing, you start feeling that something's missing. You want to get back to business, right? You want to, that's at least for me really the urge. So I met with a guy, a good friend of mine, who introduced me to One Life, presenting me the opportunity, and then in just a day, under a day, I completely shifted my mind and just decided to basically go for it. So the presentation here, today, is to tell you why I got into this, and it's been 7 months now that I'm into this. Why and why it's a great opportunity for anyone who aspires to be an entrepreneur or who is already an entrepreneur. If you already have a business, if you want to have a business, I tell you this: network marketing is a great way to run your own business, and One Life really is the best opportunity for me I ever had. I looked at my past businesses; they were great, but when I looked at the potential of One Life, I'm just blown away. And after 7 months doing it, working on it, it goes basically beyond my expectations. I'm making more than I thought I would, and it's not stopping there. So I'm going to explain you a little bit what this is about. So One Life is the company, and One Coin is the product. One Life is the fastest growing company in history, period. The fastest. The first 8 months, made 1 billion euro in sales in just 8 months. The second company was, who made the first billion was Groupon, and it took them 23 months. So Groupon, I don't know if you know this website, it took 23 months to reach their first billion. One Life, in just 8 months, reached 1 billion. The second billion was reached 3 months later. And today, we are at over 6.5 billion euro in sales. To understand what One Life is about, what OneCoin is about, you need to understand the evolution of payments, the evolution of money. That's really what this is about. You know, we went from basically gold and silver and coins and banknotes, checks, from that to a digital era. Now, you know, we're not talking about cryptocurrency, but you're saying that we're doing more and more electronic transfers. You don't actually see the money that you're moving from one place to another. You know, credit cards, PayPal. Do you have PayPal in Vietnam? Yeah. Okay, PayPal. All these electronic payments, Apple Pay. You know, if you have an iPhone and you go and pay just with your phone, these are basically coming and becoming the mainstream way of making payments. So this evolution is really clear. Now, one thing that happened in 2008 was the rise of the blockchain. Have you heard blockchain? This word, blockchain, does it sound familiar? Yeah. Well, blockchain is basically a way to make transaction without a middleman. Okay? When you want to send money to someone over the internet, normally you would go through a bank, or you would go through PayPal, or you would go through, there's always a third party, there's always someone in between. And that, you know, when you have someone in between, that makes the transaction much slower. That makes the transaction more expensive because that person in between is taking a cut. And also not as safe. Safety is a problem. Credit card fraud is going through the roof. If you have a credit card today and you go to a restaurant, the person just needs to note down the numbers and then can go online and buy something. Right? If you go online and buy with your credit cards, you can also be hacked. Right? So you have a lot of fraud going on for credit cards. And that's something that blockchain basically is solving. Again, transaction without a middleman, instantly. So out of blockchain, you have different applications. The one is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is basically money on the internet, digital money. And it allows you basically to pay faster, cheaper, and safer. So if you think about how email changed or disrupt the post office, if you think about the way it did 25 years ago, you know, when was the last time you bought a stamp? When was the last time you sent a message to a friend and waited 4 days until they get that message? Everything we do now, we do with our phone, instantly, free, or almost free, and super safe. Meaning, I'm sending you something, it's straight, there's no middleman, and it's encrypted. So this is how the blockchain and cryptocurrency is changing the whole payment world. Okay, it's really important to understand that we're into something that is as big as when the email arrived. The email changed the way we communicate. Cryptocurrency changed the way we make payments. Okay, blockchain is disrupting the payment world. Cryptocurrency, faster, cheaper, and safer. And just to give you an idea of how it's a big deal, those people, Bill Gates and Richard Branson, are very much into it. In fact, Bill Gates just invested over $400 million into cryptocurrency. $400 million. Why? Because they know that cryptocurrency is basically going to be really, really big in the coming months and years. Richard Branson, he helped the a big meeting on his island, Necker Island, in May this year, with lots of influencers, a lot of top people. And for 1 week, 1 full week on his island, they talked about cryptocurrency. That was the only thing they were talking about, how cryptocurrency is going to change the whole world. So those guys are investing because they believe they'll make lots of money with it. And you need to understand that the price of a currency like Bitcoin is based on supply and demand. Exactly like gold. We actually call cryptocurrencies a digital gold because it works exactly the same way as gold. Supply and demand. So supply is actually limited. When you have a cryptocurrency, like one coin, you have a fixed number of coins. And that cannot be changed. It can't. Like Bitcoin has 21 million, they cannot change the number, they cannot increase the number. So because it's limited, like gold is limited, price goes up as demand goes up. And demand, basically, there are 3 drivers. Okay? 3 big drivers that will make the price of cryptocurrency grow. 1, 2 billion people do not have a bank account. 2 billion people. And cryptocurrency, you just need a phone. And with that phone, basically, you open an app, a wallet, and that allows you to receive cryptocurrency. Okay? So 2 billion people do not have a bank account, but 75% of them have a phone. And with that phone, they can instantly receive money and send money. That's a big driver. 2 billion people. Second, remittances. Do you have Western Union in Vietnam? You do, right? I believe you can receive, you cannot send. Okay. Well, Western Union is used worldwide. For people, I have staff in some way where I live. I have staff from Burma, and when they send money to their family, they only have one choice: Western Union. So they go to Western Union, put their money into Western Union to their families, and pays huge fees. The average is 7.7%, but in fact, you can pay up to 25% in fees with Western Union. So we're seeing, over $600 billion every year sent out by Western Union. 600 billion. And that's only from people to people, because Western Union is about people to people. If you think about businesses, we're talking about 22 trillion US dollar per year. So there's so much fees, that are being taken from those people. Western Union is making a lot of money, and OneCoin and Bitcoin are the biggest threats. Western Union is not happy that cryptocurrency is coming up because it's such a low-cost way to transfer money. So that's a second big driver. 600 billion US dollar every year being sent out through Western Union. Cryptocurrency is going to change that. Last, and I think it's probably interesting for the Vietnamese, protection of wealth. This is a banknote in Zimbabwe. I have a few Vietnamese done with me. I always smile because I see so many zeros. But if you look at this banknote, $100 trillion. $100 trillion. And this 20 years ago, I believe Zimbabwe, $1 Zimbabwe was $1 US dollar. It was the same. And with inflation, with the government printing money over and over and over, we're reaching this, now $100 trillion in money. So, we've seen the Brexit a few weeks ago, the impact the Brexit had on the pound sterling. Pound sterling went down. And that's just the beginning, I'm afraid.
I was afraid of that.
And what happened is you see that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general are going up. Because people understand that when you work hard for a currency, you know, you work hard to earn money, but that money melts. It's like going up an elevator that goes down. It's like, you know, it's tiring. It's not efficient. So people understand that now cryptocurrency can help them to protect their wealth. So Brexit, Bitcoin goes up. The Chinese government announced that they will devalue the yuan. Bitcoin goes up. Everywhere you're seeing this, that cryptocurrency is getting more and more popular because people just want to protect what they're earning. When you work so hard and you see just the money you work for just disappear, you know. So protection of wealth is a big, big driver.
Well,
Okay.
Well, after
it's losing connection. It's connection.
let's see.
You'll have to just soldier on. The internet's not working today.
I want to play.
Should put it offline mode. Okay. All right. So this is Vietnamese, right? So I can read it. All right. So Bitcoin was born in 2008, and we don't actually know who invented Bitcoin. We don't know. We know this name, Japanese name, but it's just a name, right? It's a nickname. Nobody knows today who invented Bitcoin. But that person put a program, blockchain, onto the internet in 2008. And it started to trade in 2009 at 10 cents per coin. Today, we are over 600 US dollars. What happened is when it went up to 1,200, so a lot of people made a lot of money. But the media start looking at this and say, what is this Bitcoin thing? We don't even know who created that Bitcoin. And it's based on what? It's just wind. It's not like gold, it's wind. So the media start to attack Bitcoin. And you will see in 2010, 2011, 2012, a lot of articles saying Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin is not what you think it is. It's going to disappear. It's going to, you know, all this like, oh. And the price of Bitcoin went from 1,200 to 400, in just like that, because of the media, because of the blogs, because of the haters. One of the people were just saying, do not do this. But what happened is, you know, when it reached 400, people stopped selling because, like, why am I selling? Because just some bloggers are telling me it's a scam. Where is the scam? And the last 2-3 years, we've seen Bitcoin going up and up and up and up. Because people realize that, no, it's not a scam. It's actually a very good way to move money around. Okay? Cheaper, safer, faster. That's what cryptocurrency is about. And Bitcoin is proving that. It proves another thing as well. These merchants, Amazon, Subway, I don't know if you know them all, but those guys accept cryptocurrency. You know, I met one guy a few days ago, and he told me, you know, cryptocurrency is just, it's bullshit. Like, who's using it? Who? Well, right now we're about 250,000 people holding Bitcoin, and we're about 2.5 million people using one coin. And what do they do with it? They buy books on Amazon, okay? They book travels in Expedia. It's not just a dream, it's already happening. Like when people tell me it doesn't exist, it's already there, you know? It's not like I'm trying to convince something that's coming, it's already there. People need to understand that cryptocurrency is already here. And all these merchants accept Bitcoin, and you know, one coin is in creation. I'll get to this in a minute, but no question about it. That will be, you know, with our one coins, shop online for Amazon, Expedia, and all these big websites, but also in hotels or in restaurants. So the challenges, as I was telling you, Bitcoin has shown the way. It shows us that cryptocurrency is possible. It shows us that you can buy online. It shows us that you can send money across the globe for very cheap, instantly, and safely. This shows, it's been proven, and we're really grateful that Bitcoin showed the way. They are the pioneer. But because we don't even know who is behind Bitcoin, we just see that this was an experiment. It was just some guy who put a blockchain online, okay? And only the geeks got it. Only the guys, small glasses in their basement in a computer all day long, they got it. Only those. And if today, you want to buy Bitcoin, do you know where to go? If today I tell you, you should go and mine Bitcoin, do you know what it means? Most people don't. They don't understand cryptocurrency. Why? Because for 8 years, Bitcoin has been run by geeks, by people who are just and only about technology. And that's wrong, because cryptocurrency should be for everyone. Actually, the first people who need cryptocurrency, those 2 billion people who don't have a bank account, they are the guys, who need to understand what mining means, what cryptocurrency can do for them. And Bitcoin hasn't done that. Because Bitcoin was an experiment and was only for geeks. Second thing, the blockchain. So, just to be simple, the blockchain is the engine, okay? When you run transactions, when you make payments from one person to another, the blockchain runs it. Okay? There's no middleman, the blockchain does it. And what happens is, if I go to a coffee shop in the US, and I want to buy, with my phone, a coffee. In some coffee shops, I can buy in Bitcoins. So I go to the shop, I open my app, and I make payment. Simple, right? Just like this. But it's just slow. It takes up to 10 minutes for a transaction to be valid. 10 minutes for a coffee. I mean, your coffee is already getting cold. You haven't paid yet. So, again, Bitcoin was an experiment, and that experiment proves us that it works, but the blockchain is just too slow. And it cannot be usable in everyday world. That's the second challenge. Last one is the volatility. Do you know what means volatility? Bien donc. What do you say in Vietnamese?
Bien donc.
Bien donc.
Very good.
Bien donc. Bien donc. So, the big problem with Bitcoin is price variations. Goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And that scares merchants. If you are a merchant and your margin are 5–10%.
What's a merchant?
Merchant is a shop. Okay? A shop, a website, a hotel, a restaurant. Shop. So when you are a shop owner, or you have a website and your margin is 10, 15% or 5%, if you accept Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes like this, if one day it's 600, the next day it's 400, you've lost money. So lots of merchants are scared. Volatility is a big problem. So OneCoin is solving some of the problems, actually all the problems, and we're seeing at this. Probably know MySpace. MySpace was the first big social network on the internet. And what happened is Facebook came up with a better technology, cleaner interface, just made some adjustment, improvements, and MySpace just went down. and Facebook went up. And we see Bitcoin as MySpace. Because Bitcoin, again, has an old technology that they cannot change. They have volatility issues. And the people who are using Bitcoin are mostly geeks. OneCoin is doing exactly the opposite. This is a quick summary of the main differences between OneCoin and Bitcoin. First, the number of coins. Do you think with 21 million, there's enough coins for the whole world? 21 million coins. It's a very small amount for the whole world, okay? For companies to make those transfers, 22 trillion. For this individual, 600 billion. This is just, 21 million is just not enough. Hello, welcome. OneCoin has 120 billion. And that makes a big difference. One of the things that is very intimidating is when I say, do you want to buy Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is one Bitcoin is $600. It's very intimidating. It's really, like, wow, that's expensive. And I can't afford one Bitcoin. Am I going to ever use Bitcoins? It's just expensive. Why? Because there's a very limited supply. Yeah? And a high demand, so price go up and up and up. That's why we're at over 600. It might reach actually $1,000. Okay? So we're really seeing this as a problem. We need more coins. More coins means a lower price and easier for people to buy coins and sell them. Blockchain. As I said, it takes 10 minutes to buy a coffee. If you go to Starbucks in the US with your phone, you wait 10 minutes before a transaction is complete. With OneCoin, it's maximum 1 minute. In fact, if you looked at it, it takes about 15 seconds. How fast is that? You need this. If you want cryptocurrency to be usable, okay, for not only big transfers overseas, but on the everyday life. Like, I want to send you money now. Okay, boom, here's the money. You got it. No fees, super fast, and super safe, because there's nobody in the middle. Then transactions. When you make transactions with Bitcoin, it's anonymous. So some people might think it's great for money laundering things, for terrorism, for selling drugs, or buying fake credit cards, stolen credit cards. But this is the problem. Governments see Bitcoin as a way for bad people to do bad things. When you ask people working in governments, what do you think of Bitcoin? Usually they don't think good of it. Why? Because it does help bad people doing bad things, because it's anonymous. You don't know who is sending to who. And that's why OneCoin has chosen to use KYC. KYC is Know Your Customer. It's a banking standard. And when I send money to someone with OneCoin, I have actually my details encrypted. And if the government wants to find out what kind of money I moved, they can request OneCoin to give those details to them. Exactly like the banks. If you do banking transfers, some officials, government officials, can ask the bank to, with a judge, to get the details. And that's important for the government to understand this. To get into cryptocurrency, we can only do that if we have KYC. So transactions with a name on every transaction is very important for us to be accepted by the governments. And OneCoin is the only cryptocurrency that integrates KYC into its blockchain. Last, support. I had a friend. This friend in 2009 mined Bitcoins. It means he used his computer, did some programming and all. He got those bitcoins. And then one day, he watched the news, and he sees Bitcoin at $500. And he had 10. He had just 10 Bitcoins. But he realized, wow, I have 10 Bitcoins. Each Bitcoin is $500. I have 5,000. Okay, let's cash it in. So the guys go back to his account, his wallet, try to access his wallet. And what happened? He forgot his access. The email he was using wasn't working anymore. The password he had forgotten. Basically, he could not access his account, Bitcoin account, anymore. And when you can't access your Bitcoin account, do you know who to contact? Nobody. Why? Because nobody is running Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just like something running in space, and there's nobody who actually can get back to you and give you some answers. Okay? So support is non-existent when it comes to Bitcoin. With OneCoin, if you have a slight problem, if you do a transaction, you made some mistakes, you cannot access your account, you just send an email to support, and they help you with that. You have to provide IDs, you have to provide documents, but at least you have someone to talk to. And that's, it's a big deal. So just a few words on Dr. Ruja Ignatova. So this lady, she's the brain behind OneCoin. She's the one who, she studied at Oxford, got recruited by McKinsey. If you know McKinsey, it's a really, really high-end consulting firm in the world. Only the top 1% in Harvard and Oxford get in. So she's a really, really smart woman. And I had a chance to meet with her a few weeks ago in Bangkok at the event. And I tell you that, you can feel when you talk to the person, you just can feel that she's extremely focused, extremely smart, and she knows what she's doing. She was consulting for cryptocurrency conferences, and she's been like an expert for several years, since actually, she was a banker, okay? She was into the banking industry, and she took an interest, a very strong interest in cryptocurrency, because she saw that the world of banking is going to the wall. You probably know that, but currencies are all devaluating. The banking world is kind of working in a wrong way, and she saw that cryptocurrency could solve a lot of the problems. So after some years working for some firms and becoming an expert in cryptocurrency, she decided to create her own cryptocurrency, because all the other cryptocurrencies that were born were working the same way Bitcoin was working, with the same flaws, the same problems. So OneCoin was born in 2014, September 2014, and released online in January 2015. So, and I think that's the reason why you're here today. How can you make money with OneCoin? Two ways. Either you invest or you recruit. Investing. So basically it's very simple. Today, OneCoin is, creating a currency, a cryptocurrency. It means that today, if I want to use my OneCoin, I cannot really. There's no usability. I cannot go to a shop and buy it. Not yet. Why? Because we're building it. Okay? It's a process. So it means we are mining the coin. It means that instead of me being a geek on my computer trying to figure out how to generate those coins, I pay OneCoin to mine for me. So they have servers, loads and loads and loads of servers who do the mining for us. and for anyone. So you mine those coins. And today you can mine those coins and get really, at a very, very good rate. Why? Because you're early adopters. You're taking a risk. Even to me there's no risk, but you are the one who just have faith and understand that cryptocurrency is coming, it's coming big. Bitcoin has some challenges and OneCoin is going to answer those challenges. That's what it's about. So we're getting, it's not magic, they're not generous giving us cheap coins, no. They know that for the coins to be used, you need a lot of people. And we are among the early people who just understand it and buy those coins. So you have different packages. I'm not going to go through all these packages, but basically, the bigger package you buy, the cheaper you get per coin. Like in fact, today there is one package. If you buy, you get the coin at 40 cents. Okay, 40 cents per coin. The internal rate, there's an exchange where we can exchange internally, like I can buy, is at €7. So you're buying something at 40 cents, and you can sell it internally at €7. Does that sound too good to be true? Yes. It sounds too good to be true. But that's the reality, and that's our problem. The biggest problem we have in this company is we have something amazing, and people just don't understand it. And it's simple. We are taking a risk. We are the front line. We are the one going out, traveling. I travel. I went to Paris. I go here. I go everywhere I need to go to explain people cryptocurrency. Some people, believe in cryptocurrency. Some people don't. What I care is I want to talk to people who understand it, have an open mind, and see the opportunity of being early. If you're early, then you get benefits of investing. So if you invest into a package like this, you will be able, so you buy coins, you will be able to sell those coins, if you want to sell them, in early 2018, in 1 year, a bit more than 1 year and a half. And you might think, why? If I buy coins today, I want to be able to sell it tomorrow. Well, no, you cannot do that. We're not some Ponzi or some scam or some, no, we are building a currency. And to build a currency, we need to have a lot of people who can hold this currency at the same time and exchange it to each other. So there are some selling limitations. If you buy today, you cannot sell before 18 months. But in 18 months, it will be about 25 to 35 euro per coin. So if you're buying today, even at €1, you sell it in 18 months at 25, are you making a good deal?
Yeah.
You are. But a lot of people don't get it. They say, no, but I want to be able to sell it tomorrow. Then it doesn't work. Then it's not for you. Then you go to Macau and go to the casino and gamble. Better. Mm-hmm. What we're offering here is, again, being part of something big. You invest, but you don't invest everything you have. No, you invest the money you can afford, number one. And number two, the money you won't need in the next 2 years. I always say to anyone, okay, I don't want you to come back to me in 3 months and say, hey, I need to sell my coins. No, you can't. Or you can, but very, very limited. I don't want to get too much in details. But get this, if you want to invest into this, you're going to multiply your investment by 20 or 30, okay, in 18 months. That's the deal. You need to know that. You need to be clear in your head about this. So that's for the investment part. The second part is recruiting, or just finding investors, finding people like what I'm doing now, finding people, just explain, educate people. I always say I'm not a salesperson, I'm more like a teacher. I educate people, I tell them, okay, this is cryptocurrency, this is why it's a big deal. Bitcoin showed us that it was possible, but OneCoin is going just to kill it. That's what I do, all day long. On my phone, typing like this or meetings like that. All day long, I spend my time talking to people and explaining them what is the opportunity. That's my job. I recruit people, and in 7 months, I've been doing much better than I thought. Initially, when I started talking to people, I was a little bit, not very confident. And I was like, hey, do you want, cryptocurrency? Have you ever heard of cryptocurrency?
Yeah, no, go.
Right, know about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Right, so let me explain to you about Bitcoin. I wasn't really confident, I wasn't really good. But then by researching, by getting a better understanding of cryptocurrency, God, I got really excited. I started understanding, what's cryptocurrency is about and what OneCoin is doing. This is a big driver for me to understand what I'm talking about. And now when I talk to someone, I'm just excited to share. When you go to a restaurant and you love this restaurant, and you go back home and you want to tell them, your friends, say, oh, I went to this place, it's amazing. It's the same way, when I think about cryptocurrency, I just share with others because I think it's good for them. I'm not actually looking at getting, your money. No, I'm okay. But I'm just excited to share it. Okay, so recruiting is a big part of making money with one life. Investing is one thing. I invested some money in it. I put 10,000 euro, 11,000 euro. And now I'm, recruiting means that I'm earning commissions because I'm talking to people. So there are three types of bonus. Three types of bonus for one life. The first one is the direct bonus. The direct bonus is very simple. I'm telling to Ken, explaining cryptocurrency. He's very excited about cryptocurrency. Okay? I ask him, okay, what can you afford? Okay, what can you afford to wait for 2 years before you get it back? Multiply by 25. And he tells me, well, I can afford 5,000 euros, or 500 euros, or 100 euros, whatever. What I make as a commission, 10%. Whatever he wants to put in, because I'm the one who sponsored him, I get 10%. So that's the first bonus. We call it direct bonus. The second bonus, we call it the network bonus. So here's how it works. If you're here, you gotta build two teams. One on the left, one on the right. And those people have to do the same. Okay? You build teams. But for you, what matters is in 1 week, okay, in 1 week, how much this group is making. How many packages they sell, and how many packages sold on this side. Every week we're looking at both sides. So in this example, those guys did really well. They sold a total of 50,000 euro. Maybe it sounds a lot, but once you get into it, and once you get a lot of people under you, 50,000 is not so much. But you make 50,000 on that side, let's say this team made 70,000. The network bonus, okay, this bonus, you're getting 10% on the weak leg. That is 10% on that leg. This is the weak leg because it's a smaller number, only 50,000. This one at 70. So I make 5,000 euro. That is 10% of total volume for 1 week. Okay, that's the second bonus. So first one, direct, second, network. The last, but very interesting bonus, it's called the matching bonus. So matching bonus is when you recruit directly people. So this is, you recruit only 2 people in this example, okay? You've got 1 person here and 1 person there. They are your first generation. So if Ken buy a package from me, it's my first generation. And Charlie takes a package from me, is also my first generation. Now, if Charlie sign up Steve is my second generation. And if Steve sign up Jeff is my
Third generation.
third generation, thank you. So you understand that I can have as many third generation, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 50, as many as you want. Actually, these two gentlemen here are getting a lot. The One Money team, I'm telling you, are working online, and they're getting over 100 first generation, like 100 people like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100 generation.
140 is that?
140, pardon me. And the question is, how many of this first generation can generate your second generation? That's the key. Because if you just get one generation, and the first generation do nothing, then there's no scale, there's no duplication. And duplication obviously is key. So the second generation, third and fourth, the matching bonus pay you on what the first generation is making, and up to 4 generations. So I'll give you an example. Third generation, Ken made 2,000 euro in network bonus. So he made that, 2,000 euro. But because he's my first generation, I make 10% of his 2,000. If Charlie made 5,000 euro, yeah, I make 10% of what Charlie made. So the matching bonus pays you on the performance of your first generation. But guess that, 10% here, 10% on your second generation, 20 and 25% on the third and fourth generation. It means that if Jeff there is making 10,000 euro in commission, in network bonus, I'm making how much?
2,000.
How much? 2.5. 2,500 euro. And actually, I might not even know Jeff. There are people, when you sign up someone, that person signs up someone, it's about, you don't even know the person. And you're making money from these people. So when you recruit people, some people do nothing. Okay? There are some people who do nothing. That's the reality. And I call them ducks. They cannot fly. You take a duck, throw them, they don't fly. But then you find eagles. You find people, you just present them the opportunity, they get it, and they run. Call them eagles. They fly. You don't need to throw them, it's just like they're gone. And those guys, they're getting first, second, third, fourth generation. They're killing it. So, it's your job, because they're in the down. You want to help them, you want to, support them. But do they actually need support? Some people, they don't need support. They just go. And you're like, do you need help? No, I'm fine. Sure, yeah, I'm fine. So, in this business, you have some people that you have to help, those ducks cannot fly. But the real money is when you find eagles, when you find those people who just fly and just go really far. And that's where you're really making money. So sometimes when you start a business, you get ducks, and only ducks. And you're like, come on, let's try and fly. No, come on, fly. No. And you're just like, shit, it's not working, you're not making any money. And then you get one, and say, come on, fly. No. And then you say, oh shit, I need to get many like him or like her. You want to find eagles, you want to find those big earners. And when you get those earners, so some eagles might be in your first generation, but some might be in your second or third or fourth. What matters is you don't get only ducks. What matters is that you understand how to duplicate, how to present the business. You got to be excited about the business. You have to understand, for me, my dreams is to get the best schools for my kids. I want them to go in the best schools. I want to offer them the best Christmas ever for December. You know, you have dreams, right? And those dreams drive you. I don't want the money just for the money. I want the money so it allows me to do things, to experience things. And I'm also doing this because it gets me to know new people. Those guys here, I didn't know them 2 months ago. So I'm traveling, meeting new, amazing people, very positive. I mean, this guy, I never met Charlie, like, he's super positive and it gives me a lot of, it inspires me a lot, really. So traveling, meeting amazing people and making good money is really my big drivers. This is what I'm doing this for. And, you know, again, I told you about those eagles and those ducks. That's the reality. When you go and when you do a meeting, when you expect 50 people in a room and you don't get the room full, it's hard, it's difficult. But that's the grind, that's running a business. When you start a coffee shop, you're very excited about your coffee shop, right? You get everything ready and beautiful, a nice painting, the colors, everything. And then further you open and ta-da! Nobody. And you think, it's all right, it's okay. Second day will be better. Ta-da! And nobody. And that's in every business the same. You're very excited, but sometimes it's hard. So this business, one life, one coin, is not like easy money, yeah, easy, no. You know, I'm making good money now. Why? Because I work and work and work and work. And sometimes it's hard, you know. But when it's hard, but then you see, you know, the returns coming later. It's coming and coming and coming, it's growing. You start thinking, wow, that was worth it. Worth it. You know, sometimes you spend so much time on your coffee shop, on your restaurant, working hard. How much can you make in one day with a restaurant? Maybe you have 4 tables, and when you have all the customers into those tables, can you make more? There's a sailing, you know? In some way, I have a boat, you know? I rent that boat. Quite expensive, so I'm making good money with the boat. But, you know, one boat, one day, maximum I can do is 30 days in 1 month. In 1 month, there's only 30 days. I only have one boat. There's a ceiling, there's a cap. It's like I cannot do more. Think about if you have a business now, what's the potential of your business? What's the maximum you can make? And that's the way I think. With my boat business, I'm doing okay. But with this, I mean, if I tell you that I could make 50,000 euro per week, you would think I'm crazy. But that's the reality. If you work hard on this business, really, if you do, and don't give up on the first failure, you keep working, after 2 months or 3 months, you'll start making a few thousand euro per week. That's the reality of things. So, I hope you felt my excitement, and I hope you got some excitement back to you. I hope you understand it. If you have any questions, anything that I haven't been clear, please raise your hand. Ask me questions. I'm happy to get questions. Any questions?
The audience is all answer. Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I do apologise for the lack of turn-ups. I think we had a problem with our link on Facebook. We didn't just realise we haven't actually sent out any invitations. But nevertheless, thank you, mate. Thank you for that. And,
well, really thank you for welcoming me here. We'll do another meeting, I'm sure. And we'll get...
We're cracking our lines, so this was more of a PR anyway. So I'm going to get in front and just do a bit of video for the seminar.
Yes.
And thanks to all the Vietnamese that came anyway.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in.
And this is for PR, so if you just, when I put my hand up and say something, you can clap very loudly, like the room's full. Okay? And just go down that route for me. My name's Adam Chaplin, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm part of the One Money team. Gail, Stephen, Tim to be soon, and at the back here, always hiding, is a gentleman called Jeff that I was in the Royal Marines with for a long time. many years ago when I was a lot skinnier. Okay, believe it or not. So we've done this today to get people here, and for the Vietnamese that came, thank you very much. All right. For those who didn't come, I'll talk to you later. And the idea of what we're doing here is mainly an online business. All right. Steve and I have been in Asia for longer than you know. Believe it or not. A long time, 21 years, and over the last sort of 5 or 6 years we've got heavily into the internet stuff, and Ken here was a partner of mine and still is a partner of mine online. So we have an online presence that basically supersedes what most people can do with this online. In other words, we've got more people involved online in 1 week than most people get involved in 1 year, and we've only just begun. So our main focus and what we do with OneCoin, because effectively we sales and market for OneCoin, our main focus is quite simply getting as many people on board, signing up as we can, and then converting those people into some form of account owners, and then educating them and getting them to move on to the next people. But our unique selling point, a point that we have that nobody else has, all right, is that usually you have to let your line go down and do the best they can. We can provide leads, people that have already actually joined, to people that join under us. So we don't just say, listen, thanks for your time, thanks for your money, bye-bye. We can help them and give them the leads. Because generating leads, as you've probably noticed if you look around you, is not as easy as you think. Yeah? Now online we're very good, and obviously when it comes to the actual getting into the seats, like bums on seats, it's not a fail, these things happen. It's business, okay? But if you are to go into OneCoin and you go in on your own into a team that doesn't generate anything, then you're right at the very beginning again, and you're going to have all the pain that we had online years ago. You know, Ken and I used to sit there online and sit and make these websites, and we were like, right, here we go. We've got orders coming in a second, and nothing. Nothing, not even like an inquiry. We could have put on the website $1 million for free, just press that button, and nothing. And over a period of time, you learn how to get clients online. We're not going to teach you that, we're going to give you those clients. We're not going to teach you that, we're going to give you those clients. We're not going to teach you that, we're going to give you those clients. So people that come on board with us, whether it's for $100 or $1 million, it's up to you which education package you want. We will help you every step of the way, and that's our unique selling point. Not just help you, we'll give you leads. We've got too many. Not here, granted, but we've got too many. All right. So that's what the One Money team is. But effectively, what the One Money team does is we sales and we market packages for OneCoin. What you're actually investing. That's the wrong word. Sorry about that. What you're actually buying into, what you're actually a part of, is OneCoin. And OneCoin is, without a doubt, the biggest cryptocurrency at the moment in the world, and barring a nuclear explosion or an alien coming down and biting your head off, or something really strange happening in the market, will be the number one currency in 2 to 3 years' time online, unless something really, really strange happens. You know, every investment comes with its problems. So the One Money team will provide leads for you if we feel you're the sort of leader that we want on our books. Okay, is that clear? The One Money team will provide leads for you if we feel you're the sort of leader that we want on our books. Okay? Cut. Cheers. Thanks for your time.